actually working on a street food cart that's going to be selling edible insects based on prehispanic cuisine.
I don't know which one to get. Start with the tacos.
Come on, guys, don't be afraid. In Mexico, the cuisine and prehispanic era include a lot of edible insects, and it's because it's such a good source of protein.
Hi. Can I get the tacos?
$8, please.
And ice cream? I got it.
One ice cream, please. The name of the project is Don Bugito. Don Bugito is going to be selling a mealworm, a wax moth larvae. They're going to be cooked very simple, just like in tacos. And then some of the mealworms are going to be caramelized with sugar and rum, served over vanilla ice cream.
Ice cream.
It's going really well. It's actually surprising. We don't have a line yet, but we will. Hi, would you like to try one?
Yeah.
I'm scared, but I want to try it. Don't be afraid.
In general, people are not familiar with this.
What does moth larva mean? I think it means it's an unborn moth. Baby on a taco, maybe?
But they look like mealworms. And they taste kind of like pork. A little bit.
And the biggest thing is like the psychological barrier of like, eating an insect is not definitely an easy thing.
Eating larvae, eggs of a worm, it's a little nerve-wracking. I don't want any early worm stage of development in my stomach.
When I told the health department I'm gonna be cooking edible insects, they were like, what? They look at each other like, and then they're okay as long as the provider, the person who I buy it from, they are certified, they're okay with it. Even it's illegal in the United States to eat edible insects in some way. But at the same time, it's not, because the Food and Drug Administration has approved a percentage of bugs in regular foods. Like when you buy a steak or tomato or something, the tomato may be infected by a certain amount of eggs, like a fruit fly eggs and something, and that's okay for the FDA. We already eating edible insects. Can I help you? Next.
I would like to try the tacos.
Can I get the wax moth larvae?
Tacos?
Sure.
Larva tacos.
One order of tacos, please. One ice cream, please.
One ice cream.
Ice cream. Ice cream, thank you.
This is vanilla ice cream with some kind of bug on top.
Next.
Amazing.
It's amazing. It's going really well. I mean, I'm not as busy as some other recognized businesses, but so far we are moving the food and it's amazing. People are not even asking questions. They're just reading the menu and they're ordering the tacos.
The moth larvae, please. The tacos.
Next.
This is wax moth larva.
Yes. Would you like to try one?
Hello?
Yeah, I haven't tried the bread because I know where it is sometimes. So
It took me almost 2 years to feel completely comfortable. I don't have to hesitate and stop to think before I grab the insect.
It's good. Crispy.
Are they alive?
No.
You sure?
All right, I'll do it because I said I would do it.
I know it's not an easy thing, but I didn't think it was easy when people started eating sushi in the Western world.
I'm not tasting anything wormy per se.
Because you didn't have any of the worms.
Yes, I did. All right, here.
And then I remember the first time I ate sushi, I didn't want to eat raw fish. And now sushi is very acceptable.
Pretty good.
it tastes like tacos.
It's a taco.
It's a taco.
If you didn't know what it was, you wouldn't know what it is. It's just food.
Is it weirder than eating a cow? I don't know.
It's supposed to be a really good form of protein. Bugs,
I think a lot of bugs have a high amount of protein.
Yeah.
And they're easily accessible.
The amount of bugs you can probably produce to use as these foods, high numbers of them compared to one cow.
You can raise more than 100 worms in these 6x6 box, and the waste material that comes out of this box is minimal compared to a cattle farm. A mealworm is like a larvae from a darkling beetle, which is a black house beetle. There's these little guys, they're really common. We don't eat the beetles. But these guys, they have a life cycle stage. And then, so the beetles, they mating. And then when they're made, it usually takes probably from 1 to 3 months to lay some eggs. And then once I add the eggs, then I transfer the beetles into a new container. And then from that container, these are kind of the most baby ones. So that's a baby mealworm. I didn't grow up being like very attached to food. And then I started discovering things about like mass production of farming. These guys, I feed them with organic bran and oats, and the carrots, that's where they get the water source. So these are a larger stage of their life. These guys are like 7 months old. For me, to start raising something that I can see, understand the cycle of it, and then consume it, like eat it, is a big challenge, and is a big like step for me to understand what is it I eat. Yeah, this is the edible phase of the larvae. It's such a small thing that I can actually raise and look at it and eat it, and I don't think I could have a cow in my backyard. And then once they mature, they transform into this state, which are pupae. This pupae, they will take from a couple of weeks to a month to become beetles, darkling beetles again. So it's like a cycle. The best time to eat mealworms, which are the larvae, is probably in the first 100 to 200 days of life. So what I usually do, because it's kind of hard to handle like movement, like the guys when they're moving. So what I usually do, I freeze them. So that way the stuff moving and I can clean them, especially these guys. So these are wax moth larvae, which I don't raise these ones. So these guys I buy like 250 for like $8, which is really cheap.
Could I go into my garden and find a worm or a bug?
I know in Mexico all the edible insects, they all come from the wild. They're not, nobody's cultivating them, and then they do have to purge them because there's actually been a problem because a lot of pesticides and things on the fields. These guys have so much fat already. I said you don't need to add any fat, but I'm gonna put a little bit of butter just because I want to test. I have never cooked these ones with butter before. You don't need the butter. You see, they have so much fat. This is one of the amazing things, at least I know from mealworms, like what they eat, like the bran and the carrots, they transform it into pure like lean fats and like protein. Like not many animals actually can do that. NASA was actually thinking about it, like, you know, to start using mealworms for like phase food, because it's such a, you know, it's such a big protein and such a small like amount. Okay, it would be amazing if people would have like, you know, like a batch of crickets or something, and they would be like, okay, that's what I'm gonna eat today. It's very crunchy. This is like a little living unit that I designed. It was made with the idea that people can take one home and then kind of start raising their own worms at home. I mean, I call it worm house, like, you know, instead of bag house, worm house. I had to use your home mealworm farm, and it's very simple. It tells you how to take care of your worms, how to clean them.
Is this impractical?
It's very easy actually. Mealworms are super forgivable insect to grow up, very easy. It's very utopic, the idea of people who raise their own mealworms. I had to be like realistic. It couldn't be that hard to raise a chicken, but how many people are raising their own chickens? Maybe you can go to a store and buy like, you know, bunch of livestock, live livestock in the store, and then just come home and, you know, prepare it yourself.
You call it livestock?
Yeah, livestock. I mean, well, you know, cattle and everything is livestock, no? Mini livestock. Your little house.